Why do people support war instead of peace? Throughout history, humanity has often found itself at the crossroads of peace and conflict. Despite the lessons of compassion, forgiveness, and love taught by the world's great religions and moral philosophies, societies have repeatedly chosen the path of war. This contradiction, between the ideals we hold and the actions we take, continues to puzzle and pain us, especially when we witness conflicts that seem endless, from the struggles between India and Pakistan to the ongoing heartbreak in Palestine. If our religions and our shared sense of humanity teach us to cherish peace, why then do so many still support war? To begin answering this question, we must acknowledge a fundamental truth. Almost every major religion in the world promotes peace at its core. The Quran describes the Prophet Muhammad as a mercy to all the worlds. The teachings of Jesus Christ in Christianity urge followers to love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. All religions encourage compassion, nonviolence, and respect for life. These are not marginal teachings. They are central to the faiths of billions. Yet history is filled with examples of religious people and even entire religious communities supporting, participating in, or justifying wars. The contradiction is striking, but it is not new. The heart of this paradox lies not in the religions themselves, but in how their messages are interpreted, manipulated, and mobilized. Religion, like any powerful idea, can be used for good or ill. It can inspire acts of incredible kindness or be twisted to justify violence. The capacity for this duality is deeply rooted in the human psyche and our need for identity, belonging, and meaning. War appeals to some of our most basic psychological drives. It offers a sense of belonging, a side to stand with, a cause to rally behind. In times of uncertainty or fear, this belonging can feel like a lifeline. War also promises justice, or at least the illusion of it. When wrongs have been suffered, the call for revenge can feel righteous, even holy. And in a world that celebrates heroes, war creates them, figures who are elevated and admired, their deeds sung as legends. These narratives are powerful. They speak to our longing for purpose and our desire to be part of something greater than ourselves. Fear, too, plays an enormous role. When leaders declare that they want to destroy us, fear takes hold, and war can suddenly seem like the only answer. This fear is not always rational, but it is deeply human. It overrides compassion and drowns out the quieter voices of reason and empathy. Consider the relationship between India and Pakistan, a relationship shaped by the trauma of partition in 1947. Both nations were born from violence, their borders drawn in blood. The wounds of partition have not fully healed, and the conflict over Kashmir continues to haunt both societies. There have been wars, accusations of terrorism, and waves of hatred fueled by nationalism and fear. And yet, on both sides of the border, there are countless people who simply want to live in peace. Their voices are often drowned out because peace does not make headlines. War does. The spectacle of conflict dominates the news, while the quiet work of reconciliation goes unnoticed. In the case of Palestine, the story is one of displacement, occupation, and generational trauma. Gaza is under siege, the West Bank is fragmented, and Jerusalem, a city sacred to Jews, Muslims, and Christians alike, remains a flashpoint of conflict. The support for Palestine around the world is often rooted in a call for justice, for the recognition of rights and dignity. But when this support turns into hatred or violence against others, the cycle of war only deepens. The original call for justice is lost in a spiral of retaliation and suffering. Governments and media institutions are not passive observers in these conflicts. They shape narratives, glorifying their own heroes while demonizing the enemy. They rewrite history to fit a single convenient narrative. They insist that you are either with us or against us, leaving no room for nuance or dialogue. This is not truth. It is tribalism, masquerading as patriotism or even as faith. We must also be honest about the economic forces that sustain war. War is not just about emotion, it is about money and power. Armies provide jobs. Weapons manufacturing is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Politicians use war rhetoric to stoke fear and win elections. Foreign powers intervene to maintain their own interests and spheres of influence. War has powerful sponsors, while peace often has few advocates. The rise of media, both traditional and social, has only amplified these dynamics. News outlets sensationalize conflict, knowing it captures attention and drives ratings. Social media, with its algorithms designed to maximize engagement, creates echo chambers where outrage and hatred can spread like wildfire. Peace rarely goes viral, but anger does. In this chaotic environment, the voices of reason, compassion, and understanding are harder than ever to hear. So, how can people of faith support war? The answer is complex. Faith is often intertwined with national identity, making it easier for religious beliefs to be co-opted by nationalist agendas. Some leaders misinterpret or distort religious texts for their own gain, turning holy words into weapons, and above all, fear of the other, of loss, of the unknown, can override the deepest teachings of compassion. Yet true religion, real spirituality, is not about conquest or domination. It is about conscience, about listening to the quiet voice within that urges us toward empathy, forgiveness, and love. The path to peace starts with individuals, each of us, making conscious choices to promote understanding, resist hatred, and highlight the stories of those who build bridges instead of walls. We can choose to promote interfaith dialogue and understanding, to teach critical thinking and empathy in our schools, and to celebrate the peacemakers among us. We can refuse to let hate and fear define our identities or our communities. Peace is not passive. It is an active choice, one that requires courage, conviction, and hope. The next time you hear someone justify war in the name of religion or patriotism, ask yourself, is this truly faith, or is it fear in disguise? Let us choose humanity over hatred, love over violence, and peace over war. Because in the end, the greatest power we possess is not the ability to destroy, but the capacity to heal. Like, share, and subscribe if you believe peace is more powerful than war.